Joining me now after months of planning this and after many times in which he bailed on me, but you know what? I can't do nothing about it because he's my jiu-jitsu coach and he can fuck me up. My guy Shane Shapiro in the building.
My man, thanks for having me, bro. I made it.
Made it, yeah.
Didn't bail on you this time.
Yeah, you didn't.
I was trying to get my brother and we were trying to set something up, but our schedules are fucking nuts. So,
Yeah, you guys are going through it right now.
fuck, bro. It's all good.
Staying
Yeah,
busy.
That's it.
I had you on the marquee too, man, because when you walk by the studio, you can see the run of shows and then who the guests are. I was telling Brian, who's in the control room right now, I told him, I was like, yo, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't make that because I'm like 0 for 3 trying to get him to come in.
This fucking guy's not coming in, yeah.
Dude,
No, I'm stoked, man.
this is, I'm excited to have you on. It's nice to not see you in a rash guard for once because
Right.
I feel like I only see you at the gym.
Some decent clothes for once.
Decent
Not
clothes.
sweating my dick off.
Yo, I have so many questions, man, and I want to pick your brain because everyone that listens to the show, they know that I'm a man of very simple things. I like to create content. I like working out, love sports, and jiu-jitsu is a big part of my life. You're one of my coaches over there at Syndicate, and the list of things I want to ask you, we'll get through it throughout the show. A lot of them are going to be pretty generic because I also don't know the answers to these too. And a lot of my audience, because I talk about jiu-jitsu so much and what it means to me, they've started training too.
Beautiful. I love
So that's
Love
why it makes sense to the people listening to this because it fits like what I'm doing. So I want to start this conversation by saying, number one, I respect people like you a lot because I know what it takes to get to that level of black belt. I don't know because I'm a blue belt, but I'm saying like the levels to it, it's wild.
it. Yeah.
How many black belts are there in the world, would you say?
Fuck, man, I don't even know. It's funny because Jerry was telling my brother brought up this statistic the other day about, I think he brought it up, or maybe I saw it on Instagram, but it was like how many people actually train in the world martial arts, right? How many people are actually in the world? Like, I don't know, the fucking 7 billion, or maybe there's more now, but and that small percentage of people that actually train martial arts, let alone that are actually black belts, right? So there's got like 1% maybe, I want to say. And who knows? I don't even fucking know the percentage, but I don't think there's a lot of black belt, a lot of legit black belts at that. Like, there's so many black belts I feel like are watered down nowadays. So who knows if they're even legit black belts? But I feel like legit black belts are hard to come by.
Okay, so when I hear you say that, I can tell how long someone has trained.
Right,
I'm sure you could too.
for sure.
How quickly can you sniff out that someone's bullshitting when they tell you what belt they are?
First 3 minutes of the round, not even, bro. First minute of the round, I can usually tell if this guy's got a good game. I could tell by his movements, his the way he's doing things, the way he's reacting. If he's getting too angry, too stiff, too spazzy, like there's all these little like telltale signs of if people are bullshitting. You know, someone usually says like, "Oh, I'm a purple belt." You know, like you got a pretty decent game, well-rounded top, bottom game. You know, but bro, there's been so many people that come in the gym and I'm a black belt or I'm a brown belt, and it's like, who the fuck gave you your fucking belt? You know what I mean? It's fucking there's no way. You know, at our school, at our old school, Cobra, you wouldn't have fucking cut it. Even at Syndicate now, like we got brought up having to earn your belt. You know what I mean? And like our sometimes like guys would be waiting overdue for it'd be years where they're like overdue for their belt. You know what I mean? But like that's just how we came up. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to get promoted to that next belt and be getting smashed at that belt. You want to be at that next belt and be fucking dogging people.
Is that because that's also a bad look on your part if you promote someone?
Yeah, because it's a representation of you. You know, so for sure. You promote someone too quick, which like everyone's held to a different standard. Though. That's the other thing, right? Some people come in the gym and they're hobbyists. Some people come in the gym and they want to be a fucking world champion. You know what I mean? So everyone's held to a little bit of a different standard when it comes to promoting. But yeah, it's still at the end of the day, no matter who you promote, you know, let's say we give you a belt, you go back to New York and you're getting fucking dogged. It's like fuck, man. You know, we want to make sure we give you that next belt and you're representing that shit.
Yeah, because it's a representation on you and the gym that you get it from.
For sure.
Damn, yeah, that's a good ass point, bro. Because I've seen it where, like, I would definitely describe myself as a hobbyist. I have no desire to compete.
No?
Not a single
Why?
bit, dude. So the reason why is not because I think I'm going to do well or I'm going to do poorly. I just got so much shit going on that I know that if I compete for the first time, win or lose, I'm going to get hooked.
For sure.
And then it's going to be, you know what? I don't got to record for an hour and a half. Let me record for 45 minutes so I can go back and train. Even though I'm training a lot. I feel like I train a lot for a hobbyist, especially with the conversations that I have with a lot of people at the gym. I'm training like 5 days a week.
Huge.
And one of it is also like I want to get a little thinner for the summer.
Hot boy summer?
Hot boy summer, absolutely. Deserve one. First one out in Vegas. So we are on the prowl as we're recording this one. But I also, like, for me, jiu-jitsu is a big part of my life because, dude, it's the one thing. It's crazy. It's the one thing that when I go and I train, I legit don't think about anything else.
Yeah.
I don't care if what's happening at home. I don't care if I've lost money gambling. I don't care if the girl didn't text me back. I don't care if work sucks. It's weird, bro. There's nothing else in my life that I've ever done. Because, like, when I'm on the mats and the round starts, it's like, well, I got to protect my neck. I got to not get heel cooked because I want to walk.
Exactly.
Yo, it's weird, bro. Is that like that for you, too?
That's the best, bro. I feel like that's what gets people hooked with jiu-jitsu. Is that just like 5 minutes of freedom? You know what I mean? I don't got to worry about shit at home. I don't got to worry about the outside world whatsoever. I just got to worry about smashing this dude or not getting smashed. You know what I mean? And there's a freedom in that. Like, it's nuts. It's the same way, bro. I love it. I love it, man.
It's the craziest feeling, man. Anytime that I'm on the mat, it's the only thing that I think about. Nothing else like matters. There's no other distractions.
Right.
It's crazy because, like, even when I podcast, like, I might get a text or something, or I might, I'll have my laptop when it's a lot more like analytic based, or I got to research something and talk about stats, whatever it might be. And I might get distracted by an email or, oh shit, this person said this on Twitter. You get all that. But out there, man, it's crazy, bro. And that's a big reason why I think I'm so addicted to it.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, I could agree, man. Like, once you start competing, win or lose, man, it's like the feeling of winning is amazing, bro.
Yo, and that's why I don't want to do it, because I'm not saying I'm going to go to tournaments and I'm going to win them. But if I win it, I'm going to be like, damn, yo, I'm better than I thought. Now I'm going to try to compete more. Yeah. And if I lose, I'm going to be like, damn, I got to get that back.
For sure.
I'm hooked. So that's why I don't want to compete.
For sure.
Is that trash?
Nah, it's bro.
You can be honest.
Yeah.
I could also edit this out too if you offend me. I'll just edit it.
Come on. Nah, Nick, everyone has their own journey, bro. You know, if you don't want to compete, not looking to, it's not saying in the future, bro. You free up some time, do a fucking tournament. Like, that's a possibility. You know what I mean? Who knows what the future holds? You don't want to compete right now? Nobody's forcing you to compete, bro. Everyone's on their own different journey. As long as you're happy with what you're fucking doing now, who gives a fuck, bro?
How long have you been training? Because you told me, again, this is the first time that I'm actually chopping it up with you. Yeah. So I learned so much before we started recording, and then a lot of it's going to be reiterated again for the audience to hear. But you grew up in a house that, like, y'all were throwing down.
Yeah, bro. Like I said, so my dad, he boxed, right? My dad was a boxer, and from the time I was little, I remember my brother and his friends coming over, and our house was just like, my parents were so fucking cool. They're the best people in the world. But our house, like, they'd rather have us at the house where they could keep an eye on us and chilling with all of our friends other than us doing some shady shit on the streets, right? So we always had our friends over, man. Even my brother always had his friends over. I always had my friends over. So, yeah, I remember just being younger, and my brother and they'd be boxing, fucking wrestling, doing all this shit. And then, my generation came around, and me and my friends, we'd be in the street playing, and then, we'd end up going to the house to box, and my dad would either move the table out of the kitchen or just to the side and be like, all right, and he would ref it, make sure no one got, like, too hurt, or we would just go in the front yard and fucking throw down, or the backyard, So, yeah, we just came up fucking boxing and throwing down, man.
And then how did jiu-jitsu come into the mix?
So jiu-jitsu came in the mix from Jerry. I wrestled in high school maybe for like a year or two, man. I did freshman year, and then I wrestled for like sophomore a little bit, and then started partying a little bit. Kind of got into my,
the demons.
The demons started coming.
We'll get to that in a bit.
For sure. But, yeah, so after high school, I remember my brother took me to my first jiu-jitsu class. I was training from like 14 maybe to like 15, just like a couple times here and there at our old location, Cobra Kai. And I think I really started getting after it like maybe senior year. After that a little bit, really started to like dig into jiu-jitsu. And, yeah, and then since then, man, it's been my love. But I contribute that for sure to my brother, If he didn't start, who knows where the fuck I would have been, man, so. Crazy.
If
Crazy
it-
how it works out.
Yeah, if it wasn't, it's fascinating when you see like brothers in the same sport or in the same field doing something. How much of your brother has helped you in jiu-jitsu? Like how much worse would you be if you didn't have
Oh
him
my
around?
God, bro.
Shouts to Jerry, by the way.
Bro, big shout out to Jerry. That's my dude. Right hand man. Man. I mean, other than my obviously I had my other coach Sim Go, right, that showed me the ropes and gave me my black belt. But my brother was always the one that like really, really took the time. You know, after every round, after every the car ride home, we're talking about our you know, the rounds. And
That's
just
what I
this
meant
shit.
also.
You know what I
Like,
mean?
you know, you guys just be chilling in the living room and fucking like,
Yeah.
yo, let's go over this thing or
But
something.
we didn't become close until we started training jiu-jitsu because there's a 7-year difference with me and my brother. So we didn't you know, we didn't hang out too much when I was younger. Just because he had his family, you know, I'm 7 years younger. You know, so he's gonna take his little brother to parties and shit.
Kind of different generation. Like
Yeah.
I always say when I look at generations, I feel like did we go to high school together at some point? Or either where I was a freshman, you were a senior, or I was a senior, you were a freshman. Like I feel like that's the same generation. So it's about like a 5 to 6 year window.
Right.
So yeah.
Right.
I hear you.
So when we finally started training together, that's when like, you know, we were together all the time, and since then have been, you know, inseparable, you know, together all the time. But yeah, just having him like, and I'm grateful that I've kind of been this way. It's kind of like the same way Corey is, man. Like Corey's been a sponge. Our purple belt Corey, shout out to Corey too. Corey's been a sponge, and like I feel like he is like a little me, bro. Like Jerry has been molding that guy, and he's like, you tell Corey to do something, he does it because he's just a sponge. So like that's how I was. Like Jerry would be like, you know, maybe switch this up a little bit. Boom, I did it. You know, and our gym that we came from, we never fucking drilled too much. You know, like we would get in class. That's why we're so heavy on drilling now, is because if we would have been drilling more when we were coming up, our technique would have been that much more sharp, dude. But our gym was like, we come to the gym, we're fucking kicking with the boys, and when round starts, then we start rolling. You know, and that's how I got good, just by getting rounds. Like I never was the drilling type. I just would fucking roll and do it, you know? But that's why we're pushing everyone to like, you just got to drill, man. And that's something that I need to do now as a black belt that's going to get me to that next level that I haven't done. The reason why I haven't been at that fucking next level is because I'm not drilling, you know? So that's why we're always trying to push like it, you know, you guys got to fucking drill and just drill. You know what I mean?
Dude, it's crazy coming from New York and then joining Syndicate. Number one, the way you guys gravitate to people is dope. Because I was telling this story the other day how I started training jiu-jitsu in 2019, Thanksgiving week. I go and I was training like 3-4 times a week, right? Immediately I got hooked right away.
Right.
I go to my first class. Sergio De Silva is my head coach. He was always telling me like, dude, yo, you got to come, man. He's like, I know how you are. You're very disciplined growing up in athletics, and you've always like had the right head on your shoulders. I know you'll fall in love with this thing. I'd be like, nah, man, I'm not trying to do that. I'm not, you know, I don't want to do that. And then I go, and bro, I'll never forget, 14-year-old kid, this kid Joey, was training maybe a year with him.
Yeah.
You're laughing already because I'm sure you've probably seen and heard these kind of stories.
What happened to me?
Yo, he goes, we're doing, I'll never forget, man, we're doing side control. Sergio lays down. He's like, yo, lay on top of me. He's like, try to hold me down. Couldn't hold him down. What the fuck? He's like, all right, now you try to do it. Sorry, he made me go down first. I'm trying to get up. I'm like, I could get up. Couldn't get up. And then he shows me how to frame and all that, right? Anyway, we finished drilling. And then he goes, yo, you're going to go with him. I'm looking at him like, I'm 28 at the time. Yeah, I was 28 at the time. I'm like 220.
Fuck.
This kid is 14 years old, 130 pounds. Maybe. I might be giving him extra weight.
Yeah.
Bro, ragdolled me. Just violated me. And at the end of it, I'm like, what just happened? And Sergio goes, yo, I'll either see you Wednesday or you're never training again.
Fuck. That's a good coach.
That's how it is, right?
Bro. Yeah. You're either going to love it or you're fucking never going to come back again.
I was like,
You know
yo, I
what I
want to
mean?
learn how to do that,
Yeah,
bro. And when I
sure.
roll with like you and Jerry or Ryan or anyone else, even Val too, and I'll be like, man, I can't wait to be able to do that to someone.
Yeah.
Just fucking
Yeah.
helpless.
And that's
Bro, have you seen this? There's this video that's gone around lately of Joe Rogan talking about if you're an average, like your average Joe that's never trained, if a black belt gets his hands on you, how defenseless you are.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, that's the biggest cap ever because I feel like I'm a decent blue belt for a hobbyist. When you and your brother get your hands on me, dude, I feel defenseless. And I know how to train. Like, I know how to get out of shit. It's like, bro, why is Rogan lying to these millions of people? It's like, yo, you don't understand, dude. It's crazy.
It's different.
It's wild. Like, people that have never trained, they're like, nah, there's no way. I'm like, bro, I'm telling you, you're helpless.
Bro, especially when it's like a girl, right? Like, and I love when I see this, right? When a new guy comes in the gym and one of our girls is smashing him. Like, that's even a worse eye opener. Like, let alone it's like another dude, right? Okay, this dude's bigger than me. Maybe, of course, maybe he's meant to smash me. When it's like a smaller guy or a girl, that's even fucking.
You gotta
worse.
just throw Val at them.
That fuck Val, you know what I mean? Val, Shino, one of these fucking girls, bro. They're all fucking. All these girls are savages.
Yeah,
man. Emily's been fucking killing it, man.
Bro, there's times where I roll with them and I'm like, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah,
like at all.
For sure.
And just think of it for someone that's never trained before. Someone that's never trained before, like they don't get it, right?
Bro, no, hell no, they don't get it. But that's the thing though, right? Either, like we said, either you get in there and you get fucking smashed, and you're like, I gotta learn this because I don't want this shit to happen to me again.
Yeah.
Or you're like, your ego's like, nah, shit's not. I don't want to do that again. You know, in the streets that wouldn't happen.
Yeah,
in the gym scenario. You know what I mean?
Has anyone ever tried you out on the streets?
Honestly, but no, man. Like,
it's a good thing.
Right, I'm grateful, man.
Yeah,
I'm honestly am because I like. If I don't have to fight, I don't want to, man. You know what I mean? I'm the biggest, softest fucking...
Dude, hold on. Nah, stay on this. I want to stay on this because I feel like maybe I've gotten lucky, and I'm sure that there's pieces of shits everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
But, yo, consensus, the nicest people I've met are always dudes that are in martial arts.
I swear. It's the most... I feel like it's the guy, and that's not saying I'm like this, like I'm so confident with myself, but with martial arts, man, you get a fucking confidence, right? Like the guys that know they can... smack, like, why do you gotta be a bully pretty much, right? Or like be out flaunting it, like, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to cause any problems, especially being a fighter, right? Or a martial artist. Like, you get into a street fight, you hit somebody, they fucking hit their head on the ground, yeah, that's it. Like, you know what I mean? You're done, right? So it's like, you got to be smart nowadays. Like, so that's why I'm kind of glad no one's tested. Since I've been training, I've never had like anyone pretty, get in my face or confront me. I've had all my fights, like, bro, middle school and elementary school was just fighting all the damn time, dude. All the damn time, bro. Crazy.
And that's when, like, you didn't know how to fight, and now that you do,
we were just scrapping.
Like, nothing happens.
Right, nothing happens. Which you always kind of want to be like, oh, maybe I want someone to test me. Maybe I can fuck them. You know what I mean? Just, I swear, if somebody tests me on the street, I'll let you know right now. I'm gonna fucking put you to sleep, and I'm taking your wallet or money, your shoes. You know what I mean? You got some nice shoes, I'm taking them. So don't try me unless you don't want to get robbed.
Yo, that's great, dude. It's weird, man, because like, yo, I'm the same way. I'm very passive. Like, my whole life I've always been like, yo, you're a bitch. No problem, man. You can have that. Like, there's no no reason to act tough, because I've been in situations where other people acted tough, and it just did not end well.
For sure,
right? And
let alone like with guns nowadays, right? Like,
oh yeah,
I'm only
all this shit. Yeah, exactly. I'm only talking about like hand-to-hand combat.
Right.
And like when I walk into rooms, I feel like there's a presence around me. Like me personally, I feel mad confident everywhere, because I also know that, like you said, people that do know how to fight, they never really instigate. Nah, it's always the loudest.
Cool, usually relaxed, right?
Yeah.
Laid back, like. It's always the loudmouth motherfuckers that are like, they don't know shit. They gotta feel like they gotta be the big dick in the room. You know what I mean?
What is like the warning sign outside of the ears? Is there something that you might tell someone? Like, I had my buddy Jared. He'll tell people, "Are you sure you want to do this?" I'm like, yo, if I hear someone say, "Are you sure you want to do this?" I might be like, man, my bad. Sorry for
for
bothering you.
That's good. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like if somebody like saw the ears and they were like still trying to test you, like, yeah, you just gotta fucking put them out.
Yeah,
this motherfucker might just be crazy. You know. Usually though, yeah. Thank God for the ears, man. Like, people see that and they kind of already know. Like, they're kind of already giving you a head nod. You know. Fucking respect.
Yeah, my bad. Sorry about that. Just keep on moving. Dude, you were talking before about some of the demons that you've dealt with. I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
I was going to gift you alcohol after your combat jiu-jitsu tournament.
Yeah.
That you went down to Mexico. And I asked Dimitri, who's a good buddy of mine and one of your close friends.
Yeah, love him. Love that dude.
I'm like, yo, I want to give him like a bottle of wine or like a 6-pack of beer. He's like, nah, I probably don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, all right. Cool.
No,
I didn't know, but now it
you're the
makes sense, man. How'd that start, and then how'd you end up helping yourself out?
Yeah, man. So So I high school, right? I obviously was partying, after wrestling, started partying, man, and I remember this one specific night. I remember one of these kids was like, "Hey, you want to come grab some weed with me?" We left the party. I was like, I thought it was just gonna be just some weed. We get to his friend's house and he gets pills and he starts smoking them on this fucking piece of tinfoil, right? So I'm like, oh, what the fuck that is? I'm like, and bro, like, we were raised in a family. Jerry's a straight edge. Like, Jerry's never tried drugs. My sister's straight edge, right? She's at her demons, right? But we've all grown up in the same household, right? Never, drugs weren't a part of our household, right? Yeah. So he was like, "Hey, you want to try it?" My stupid ass, oh fuck, fuck it, I'll try it. One thing led to another. That was, I think, maybe sophomore year, and then so that's what I started. Obviously started smoking weed here and there, but then started fucking smoking these pills with foil, right? And then eventually that shit got too expensive because I was doing that for maybe a year and on and off. Would do it for a couple months, get caught or something, would end up relapsing. So this was a cycle, man. Up until, fuck, man. Not like recently, but shit that I've dealt with, 10 years of active addiction, right? So one thing led to another, and then eventually started going down the heroin road because the pills were too expensive, right? I'm sure you've heard the story, right? Shit gets too expensive. You got to start hitting the streets to get cheaper shit, and it's getting you more higher. So it's like it's a no-brainer at that point, right? I'm not going to spend money and fucking not get high anymore. So fucking the heroin started coming, and then eventually after that, fentanyl hit the streets, and then started dabbling with that, which I thank God somebody was looking out that I never like OD'd from fentanyl, because you hear that's like the biggest fucking crazy shit. So yeah, I've been to 2 rehabs, which nobody's known this. Kind of keep everything kind of a little low key. Obviously if you're one of my close friends, but yeah, been to 2 rehabs, man. Yeah, but fuck, man, crazy.
Damn,
About the
bro.
fentanyl and shit.
Fentanyl is nuts.
It's a mother, bro. It's crazy. And when you're doing it, you don't realize like, oh, this shit's not gonna happen to me. It's not gonna fucking. I'm not gonna die OD. Yeah, you just never know, man. And like the last time I went into rehab, I remember, bro, that day, that maybe morning of, I was fucking. I probably did like 17 pills of it. Like, bro, like they were like the M30s. They're called. They're like little blue pills. I don't know if you fucking ever seen them. They've been like hitting the streets, bro. I probably did like 16 or 17 of those.
Jesus.
Because I knew I was going into rehab. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to fucking, if I OD, at least I'll be in rehab, and there's a hospital across the street. So my mind was like, if I OD, I'll be all right. Like that. But that's how fucking deep in the shit I was, And then I was like, oh, after rehab, I'll be clean. Which, thank God, I got out of rehab, and I've been fine. You know what I mean? But it's a process, man. Like every day, if I'm not on my shit, man, one slip up, it's
you walk a fine line.
Walk a fine line, man. But these are the consequences and the shit I've had. This is the shit I have to deal with because of my choices. This is part of being a man, I guess.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, bro, silver lining, you're here.
Yeah.
Not to get too deep, like you've heard horror stories and you've seen it and read about it, the whole nine. And my buddy Jared Gordon, same stuff. Like this dude died 3 times, like back of vans and shit. And he got his life together now too. And I think I saw one of the dudes that trains at the gym he just had a big win a couple weeks ago. You were down there in Florida, and he was talking about his Mitch.
Yeah, Mitch Ramirez. Yeah, my buddy Mitch. Yeah,
he was talking about his addiction and all that.
Yeah, man.
Like, damn, bro.
And Mitch he was way off. Like he was in prison. He was shooting heroin. Like
Jared got locked up too.
He was deep, man. Mitch was deep, and and look at him now. He's a fucking murderer now.
And bro, and look at you now too, man. You're out here competing and shit.
Yeah.
Like do you feel as if martial arts saved your life?
1,000%, man. I mean, like obviously my family's been the type that they never gave up. Right? Yeah. I know a lot of families that with how much shit I've done, my ass would have been out on the street.
Man, you know what, dude? It's crazy because I totally get it. I totally understand, and I've been in that situation too, but not with drugs. I've never done any drugs. I just like to drink. I've been drinking since I was like 14 beers. I'm a big beer guy. That's why you see me training so much too, because I gotta get this ain't a beer belly. It's a gas tank for an asshole, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to slim down, and dude, I haven't drank in like 5 weeks.
It's awesome.
And it's just and like beer is my shit.
For
Like
sure.
I don't like vodka. I don't like any of that
Yeah.
stuff. I just like a nice cold beer at a barbecue, watching the fights. Like that's
Yeah,
my thing. Also, I could control it too, right? Like if I have 5, 6 beers, I know I'm gonna be cordial. I'm not gonna be an asshole. I've always been a happy drunk.
Right.
I've never been someone that's like, oh, let's go fight people. It's like,
For
nah,
sure.
nah. Again, staying passive.
Yeah.
But man, I had my demons was gambling.
And that's a motherfucker.
That
Gambling.
I don't know if you've ever heard this. I think that's the worst addiction out there.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
Why?
It's the only one you could win in.
It's fucking true though, bro.
It's the only
That's
one.
fucking,
It's
I've never heard that.
Yo, think about it, right? It's the only one where if I hit the roulette table right now, there is a chance I could take them for a couple $1,000s. And then I'm like, oh shit, I got my rent, I got my bills, I could go buy sneak, I could do all this shit. But then there's also I could hit that table and lose everything. And then I hit the ATM and I lose everything. But it's the only one where you've seen a positive out of it. And for a lot of people, financial is like the biggest indicator for people's happiness and their stresses. Like, bro, I used to have my own demons with like mental health stuff and being depressed and all that. And man, I'm not exactly balling out of control. Like I still have to budget my money, but now that I am making money, like, I don't have those problems anymore. And I've always been someone that like, I don't really value money. I feel like money, it's the freedom of it. Knowing that like, man, the car payment's coming up. All right, no problem. I got it.
Right.
Where, dude, my whole life growing up with my parents, very similar to you, super close. My dad would always talk betting with me. And the family would be like, why the fuck are you talking to him about betting? You're a bad influence. And it's like, yo, that was our shit that we like bonded over. You know what I mean? Like my dad is super out of shape. He's a chain smoker.
Yeah.
Like he just, the one thing that us two bonded over was always like, yo, at like 12 years old, bro, he'd be like, yo, what do you think about the Cowboys catching 7 points? And even if him and I were butting heads and like, yo, fuck you, dad, you know, like growing up as a teenager, you're always like, oh, I know more than you and shit. I would turn to him and I'd be pissed off. And then he'd come up to me a couple of days later like, yo, what do you think about the game tonight? And like everything would disappear.
Right.
But dude, I went through shit with betting where like, I feel as if there's a difference between gambling and betting. Betting is you have some research behind it. You have a little bit more of a feel, a little bit more control. You still leave it up to the athletes.
Right.
But if you know that like LeBron James isn't going to play, you're probably not going to bet the Lakers. Right. So there's research there where I think gambling is a roulette table. Us who hit the roulette table, I can't tell you no matter what, yo, bro, I think number 8 is coming up. That's just a feel. That's chance. That's the difference between gambling and betting for me. So I was gambling all through like high school, all through college too. And dude, for me, what saved me was podcasting.
Yeah.
So because when I started doing a podcast, I was able to talk about it and I would get the same like fix and sensation and me actually going to bet and winning. I was getting that when like the fans would hit me up and be like, yo, good call on so-and-so and you won me some money. And that's really what saved me, bro, because I was like, I've sold my Xbox, I've sold sneakers, I've sold mad shit in order to pay debts to bookies. Dude, I was working at a pizzeria for like 2.5 years, and if I made $500 a week, 475 I was gambling it. Immediately, bro.
And when did you start? Like when was like, were you like, oh, I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna start gambling.
I mean, gambling. I've been doing this since like high school, bro. Like I've always been the sports dude in my friend group, and even but like when I got into high school, I was known as like, all right, he knows what the sports betting lines are. Like even my teachers would come up to me and be like, yo, what do you think of, you know, not that I was taking bets or I was betting with them, but just that conversation, because it is a different conversation to have between like sports and then with the betting aspect. It's a whole different can of worms. But man, it wasn't until I started this podcast in 2015, and like the first 3 years, bro, I didn't put one bet. That was like my rehab and like my therapy was the podcast.
That's awesome.
But my parents, similar to yours, bro, like my parents have bailed me out a ton of times.
Yeah. I'd be fucked without them, man.
Yeah, same here, bro.
Crazy.
But it's cool though to see now how like you've turned it around and martial arts is like your escape. Yeah. It like validates them too that they didn't turn their back on you.
For sure.
And then the same thing with me, where like now my show being out here, I'm doing all these things with VSIN. I've interviewed with a couple other places. I'll tell you off the record.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, yo, now you turn that horror of gambling into like what my content is.
Yeah.
So it's like a win-win.
Right.
And then with
Yeah.
you in martial arts.
For sure. And if somebody could hear the story and be like, oh fuck, if Shane could fucking get out of the heroin addiction and fentanyl addiction, like whatever you're going through, you'll be all right. You know what I mean? So,
What would you say are your goals with jiu-jitsu?
man, I'm
Because you're definitely going to do this for the rest of your life, right? Like, I feel like it's one of
100%.
these things where you're never not going to train.
no, yeah, we got to be in the gym. It's a lifestyle. It really is. Yeah, I don't see myself doing fucking anything else. I mean, yeah, I'm a fucking idiot, bro. There's fucking nothing else I could fucking do, bro. There's nothing. I was working in like, obviously the nightclub and the industry and shit, right? And that was a fun job. It was fun, right? I say that now that I'm not working there, right? Dealing with fucking all the assholes you got to deal with, but yeah, man, I 100% want to train forever. And I still am caught in between fighting and jiu-jitsu, right? I have a couple things lined up, and I don't really want to.
Yeah, keep it on the wraps.
I want to keep it on the low. But
I like keeping things on the low, bro, until it happens. And after that, I tell the world.
Exactly. And I've made the mistake so many times before of putting shit out too early, and then something falls through, and then you look like a fucking asshole.
I moved to Vegas in September.
Yeah.
From last September, so September of 2021, I was hearing about potentially moving out here.
Yeah.
And I would tell people like, yo, I'm moving to Vegas. Moving to Vegas.
Let's
None of
go.
what happened, bro. That shit was happening for months.
Yeah.
And then the last time that I got word that I was coming out here, I didn't say shit to nobody, and then I came out here.
Fuck yeah. And just, yeah.
And it's the same thing I do. Same thing I do. I'm gonna pick on you right now. I didn't tell anyone that I was gonna have you on the pod until I recorded with you.
For sure.
Because I hate doing that too. I tell a lot of content creators in the podcast space, I'm like, yo, cardinal sin. Don't say, oh, I'm gonna have so and so on the pod unless you've recorded it.
Right.
Because then you're gonna look like a fool. You're gonna look like a fool to your audience. Your audience is gonna get let down. They're like, oh shit, you're gonna have so and so on. So I'm a big believer in that. Like, let shit get lined up. Let's put pen to paper, and then from there, tell everybody.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to work on now and do and be better about. Even like the combat jiu-jitsu thing last night. Like I wanted to. I wanted to be like, hey, I'm fucking took a short notice combat fight because I want to be the man, and I want to be like, oh, you're a G for fucking taking a short notice match. But at the end of the day, like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Like, it's not for you. It's for me, right? Like, I want to do this shit for me. On top of that, I ended up getting fucked up anyway. So it's better it's not on film, right? Nobody fucking knows. Fuck last night, dog. But yeah, but as far as the jiu-jitsu question, I definitely, the goal is, obviously, as a competitor, I want to win something big. Like, obviously, the main goal is ADCC, right? That'd be the big. To get to ADCC and maybe podium would be fucking amazing, right? That's a main goal, right? Or
that's the biggest one?
One of them, one of them. Another one is obviously, like, I want to fight and see how far I can take that. If I can.
No, but I meant like jiu-jitsu.
Just straight jiu-jitsu.
ADCC
would be the fucking.
That's the NFL.
That's the NFL.
Gotcha.
That's the NFL. IBJJF is cool too, right? Like to win an IBJJF gold, no-gi worlds or Pan Ams would be fucking dope, but all eyes are on ADCC. I feel like nobody cares about gi anymore. Like as sad as that fucking is, like nobody gives a shit who won fucking worlds in the gi.
Yeah.
Just no-gi's where it's at right now. ADCC is where it's at. You know what I mean?
I'm glad that you brought that up because that was going to be one of my questions to you. Gi versus gi. Where are you in that side of the debate?
Gi versus no gi?
Yeah.
Man, I used to be so gi. I fucking love gi. Now, I'm all for no gi. I still love the gi. I really do. I feel like there's a place for it, and I feel like to be a full martial artist, right? Everyone wants to be a martial artist, but nobody wants to train in the gi, right? Like the gi, as maybe counterproductive as it sounds because of the grips, I feel like I got as good as maybe as quick as I did because I was doing both, right? Like every day. Because at our old gym, we had gi and no gi every day, and every day it switched. So we'd have hour gi, hour of no gi. And we're already there, so might as well fucking train.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I did gi, And it sucks at the beginning, right? But once you kind of start to learn and you become the hammer, then it becomes fun, just like with everything else. Like no-gi sucks dick when you're getting fucking smashed. But
yeah.
Once you start dogging these fuckers, then it's like, oh shit, this is fucking getting fun. You start figuring out how to choke people with the fucking lapels and shit. It gets fun.
That's the worst, bro. When you choke me out with my own shit, that's so embarrassing. I'm like, man, Dude, I've been training, November will be 4 years. I've been training jiu-jitsu rather consistently. Like I've never taken, the longest time I took off was when I first moved here. I had trained like the middle of August, and then shit hit the fan for me quick, dude, because I've told the story many times where August 16th, I had no idea I was moving. And September 1st, I was here. So I stopped training. I stopped working out. I didn't work out for like 3 weeks.
Right.
Because I had to like I had to move out my old apartment, go back to my parents, and then figure out where the hell I was living out here. So I didn't train. So that's probably like 6 weeks is the longest since I've started training that I didn't train jiu-jitsu, with the exception of COVID. Like when COVID hit, we weren't able to train for a couple months. But after that, man, I've been training all the time. And bro, Shane, since then, I've probably trained in the gi less than 20 times.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. And yo, yesterday I went to gi for the first time. Like I went to gi for the first time. I do gi like once a month.
Yeah.
It's terrible. I'm not proud of it because then when I go there, I feel like, why do I even have a blue belt? I don't even know like what the fuck is happening with these grips and shit. And I love no gi though, man.
That's all good, dog.
But with the gi, it's like someone just holds onto my collar and I'm there for 3 minutes. I'm like, man, this shit is whack.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe if I trained more in the gi, I'd be able to get out of that, right?
That's the thing though, right?
That is, yeah.
For sure. But no, it is different though. Like when you want to fucking scramble, you want to move, you want to get a workout, it sucks when you got a bigger dude that's just kind of fucking locking you down, or anyone in general that just has death grips. They're just fucking locking you down. You're like, Jesus, come on, man, let's scramble, let's move, let's do some jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? So I get it, man. I get it.
What goes into promoting someone? I know we kind of touched on it before, just as far as like the level of belts, but what is like the thought process? If I just start tapping black belts and brown belts, do I get promoted? Like what goes into that process?
So everyone is held to a different standard, right? Like I was saying, like if you're a competitor or if you're a hobbyist, right? If you're coming in just you want to learn the self-defense, right? You're going to get held to a different, we're not going to we don't want to see you compete as much, right? If you tell us, hey, I'm a competitor, right? We expect, like, you're showing up to the gym, you're drilling, you're being a good training partner, you know, you're helping out the new guys. Like, that's a huge thing of getting promoted. It's not necessarily with white belts, right? But, like, you know, are you being a good training partner? You know what I mean? You're not being a spaz. You're actually trying to work on your jiu-jitsu, right? There's so many guys that, like, and I don't know if you felt this before, like, with you, like, when you start out training, you feel tougher than when you actually start learning and you start doing jiu-jitsu, because you're actually starting to put the technique to work, so it feels like, God, I'm fucking getting smashed now. Like, opposed to when I was just, like, spazzing out and just fucking hard wrestling. You know what I mean? Like,
hell yeah.
So it's different. So we kind of look for those things, like when Jerry and myself were promoting, you know, are you a good training partner? Are you not a spaz? Are you actually working on your jiu-jitsu? You're working on your technique. You know what I mean? You're showing up consistently.
And then do they have to roll with you and Jerry? Is that like a way that you get?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be every day, but, like, you know, like it's nice when I like when I haven't rolled with like a lower belt in a minute and they're like, Coach, can we get around it? And then I roll with it. I'm like, oh, fuck it, this motherfucker, damn, dude. It's a night and day difference the last time we rolled. Like, that shit's dope. I love seeing that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I feel like, you know, you don't want to, like, being a lower belt, and I see this a lot, and I've dealt with this a lot, like, you always want to roll with the coach. And that's not a bad thing, right? Everyone wants to roll with the coaches, right? You want to roll with the upper belts, but it's not as realistic as rolling with someone your level, because you're getting a different look. You know, you're rolling with a black belt, and they're kind of like toying with you and letting you play, opposed to like you rolling with a guy your belt level, and you have to fucking work, and you got to put in the work and make shit happen, opposed to like, we're letting you make shit happen.
Yo, yes.
You know what I mean?
Dude, I know exactly what you mean, because there's times where I'm rolling with someone that's a black belt, and it happens with Ryan all the time. Shouts to Ryan. I told you how he was the reason why I almost stopped training jiu-jitsu, right? I was training in the gi.
Fucking Ryan,
one of my favorite people to roll with, though, by the way.
For sure. No, Ryan's the man.
Dude, there's like 3 white belts, a blue belt, 2 blue belts, 3 white belts, and a black belt there. And I rolled with gi in the gi with him. And, bro, he put me in fucking submissions I never even knew were possible. And then he starts, like, walking over as the round ends. Like, I'm distraught now. I'm kind of just, like, sitting there, like, mouthpiece is out, hair's all fucked up. I'm like, damn, bro, what just happened? He starts walking over to the belts. I'm like, yo, if he grabs anything but the black belt, I'm not training again.
Grabs the white belt, too.
So I was like, yo, he grabbed the black belt. I was like, thank God, because I love this shit.
Let's go.
Yo, the reason why I bring up that story is because I've always felt as if this was the case where you guys allow us to get into certain positions.
Right.
And that's the case, right?
Yeah, we like because we want to see what you can you escape,
Right.
right? Like we let you get in these positions. How you working out of there?
But even
Right.
like I'll take Ryan's back and he'll say, "Are you sure you want to do that?" And then
Right.
I'm like, "Well, now I'm not after you just told me." Like, but I know for a fact he allows me to do that. Like he'll
Right.
let me get into a certain position and then he'll work out of it. And I could tell when it's being allowed for me to do it, and then when I actually get someone,
Yeah.
like, bro, you smash me every single time we roll. And that's why last week I put up that video about the doors with the Fast and Furious,
Yeah,
because I
that shit
noticed,
was funny.
bro. Also, I mean, it happened to you, so you'd be able to vouch for this. But it was the first time that I sensed any bit of panic from you.
But that's what I was saying. Did you see what happened when you go for it? Like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
give a fuck who you're on with. I'm gonna fucking put you. I'm gonna give you the work, man.
Like that was the first time where I got to it, and just the way you move,
Yeah.
in my head I was like, damn, yo, that's like a win for me.
That shit
'Cause
was getting tight. It was getting tight, bro.
We've rolled maybe like 10, 15 times. Every single time, it's just like, it's a nightmare for me, right? But that was the one time I was like, damn, bro. That's why I said, I almost had
I
you.
loved it. I fucking loved it. That shit.
That's why I sent that video. I was like, yo, I almost had you because that Fast and Furious thing.
You almost had me.
Yeah,
that
you
shit was
never
good.
had me. You never had me. Oh man, but yo, I've always been fascinated with like the belt process because a lot of people are obsessed with belts, right? Like, yo, coach, do you guys get that where people are like, yo, when am I getting promoted?
I
That's
don't want to
annoying,
say his
right?
name, but it could happen the other day. Jerry told me someone was like, hey, I'm here now. I want to start. When's my next belt or something? Said something.
Damn.
So it's like, bro, and at least if you're in fucking jiu-jitsu for the belts, you're not gonna fucking last, man. Like this is a life. This is a lifetime. You know what I mean? This is a lifestyle.
Hell yeah.
So fucking, the belts are gonna come. Just fucking enjoy the journey. You know what I mean? Just fucking work on getting better. The belts, everything's gonna fucking come. I know everyone wants to be a fucking black belt right away, but once you get your black belt, you don't get any more fucking belts, dude. You know how fucking dope it was? Like, I couldn't wait to get my fucking next belt. Now I don't get shit. I get a stripe every fucking 3 years. You know what I mean? So it's like fucking like that excitement of like, I'm at that next fucking level. That shit's not there for me. You know what I mean? So that's why it's like, I fucking hate when everyone's like, I need that next belt. Like, just fucking enjoy it. Enjoy it now. Because before you know, it's going to be fucking gone. And then once you get your black belt, now the real shit starts. You know what I mean? So, yeah, people need to just enjoy the journey more.
Damn.
Fucking enjoy it.
I could see how that could be annoying if people are like, yo, do I get a stripe?
Yeah. And bro,
get a belt.
it's so funny because every time like someone comes up, like, hey, when's my next belt? I'm like, all right, well, now you're waiting another 6 months, motherfucker. You just added 6 months to your fucking good job.
Has it happened where you guys were maybe like, yo, we're going to promote him, and then they came and they asked you, and you're like, nah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. I don't want to say his name, but it's happened for sure. It happened. I don't know exactly how long ago, but
Damn.
Yep. And I was like, Jerry,
so is that like an unwritten rule where you shouldn't
No.
be asking?
you shouldn't ask at all, man. Just show up, fucking train hard, and then that's it, man. Shut up and train.
When I got my blue belt from Hugh McKenna
Mm-hmm.
from Long Island MMA, I had a feeling it was coming. I didn't say anything,
Yeah.
but I was like, man, I'm doing it. Like, I'm not getting smashed all the time. I'm actually, I'm tapping a couple blue belts because like my school was different. Like we all started as white belts. Like everyone was a white belt, blue belt. And then when I was rolling with them, like obviously I was doing my thing against them, but then when I was rolling with other guys coming in to visit the gym and
Yeah.
maybe they were purple belts or they were like just recently got blue belts, I was like holding my own. And I was like, man, I feel like it's coming.
Yeah. And I feel like should be the way across like all gyms, but don't ever ask, right? If you feel like you're at that next level, fucking show me and get a competition. Go fucking compete and smash these fucking blue belts. You think you're a purple belt? Go fucking dog these dudes. If you dog these motherfuckers and you're like, coach, what's up? All right, now it's undeniable. Here's your belt, motherfucker. You know what I mean? But don't just be like, coach, when's my next belt? Like, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Shut up and keep training. You know?
All right, so I won't ask for nothing.
Oh, Nikki was playing in the ass.
I was putting the bait out, yo. I was putting the bait out.
Skip the purple to the brown.
I would tell, cause like, yo, I always tell people, I'm like, yo, don't take me seriously, man. Like, I love fucking around. The people that I respect the most are the people that give it back to me too,
Sure.
like
of
immediately.
Of course.
So I always tell people like, I'll go to Dimitri or even Jerry the other day. I was like, yo, gotta be at least a stripe, right? Like, come on, I just tapped I tapped like 3 purple belts today. I gotta be 1 stripe, no? So I'll just be like, just one.
Let me get one, dog. Let
Just
me
like
get one.
trolling people. They're like, nah, man, that's not how it goes. But it's
That's
funny,
funny,
man.
bro.
It's funny to see people are definitely upset with like not upset, obsessed, I should say, with the belt process. And for me, like, dude, I didn't learn how to defend leg locks until I came to you guys.
Yeah.
And that's a whole fucking.
Bro, thank God for Jerry. Like, this is why I'm saying, like, Jerry's been my fucking coach, man. Thank God for this motherfucker digging into leg locks how he did. Because I don't know if I would have done it, you know? Like, that's why he is he's progressing the way he is, and he's as good as fucking he is. You know? Like, he took the time to learn this shit for us, for the team, for, you know what I mean? So, that's why he's fucking such a good coach, man.
Can I be honest with you about leg locks?
Yeah.
When I'm rolling with an upper belt,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, they take my back and they can't submit me with like traditional moves, you know, triangles and whatnot.
Right.
And then they leg lock me. I'm saying wild shit in my head to them.
Like, you pussy.
Yeah.
Little
I'm
bitch, you
like,
couldn't fucking catch me.
You couldn't catch me. So
Took
you
the
gotta,
soft way out.
Fucking piece of trash.
Yeah.
So just know, like, if you heel hook me, that's exactly what's going
Trash,
through my head. I'm like, yo, fuck this guy.
Now it's only upper body submissions for you, though. So I got to let you know it's real every time.
Yo, the leg.
No, but I
So the leg lock series, I feel as if, I mean, you've been in the game way longer than me.
Yeah.
It's still relatively new.
for sure.
But now it's like, that's what everybody does, right? Right away.
Yep. Because everyone's knowing now, like, you either working on them or you're not.
And you can
know
tell
what I
right
mean?
away
And
when
you can
someone.
clearly tell when a
Oh,
motherfucker's
yeah,
not.
yeah.
So it's like, I'm going to get to your legs and it's going to be a quick tap.
Yo, that was the one thing with me where like someone would just grab my leg and immediately I was like tapping without anything. And it's terrible for my partner. It's terrible for me because then I'm not defending them. And then, yo, for a whole month, I was just starting every drill 50-50.
It's beautiful.
And that was the only way that now it's like, all right, now it's not a complete panic.
Yeah.
But I do like how, like, Jerry, one time I asked Jerry, I was like, yo, what happens if I roll the other way? He's like, you won't be able to walk for 9 months. I was like, oh, okay. I'll make sure to fucking remember that because I like walking.
Yeah. And that's the thing, right? Better safe than sorry. So it's better to just fuck. You don't know it. I don't give a fuck. I'll tap, man. You know, I don't care. Fuck it.
What is it with jiu-jitsu that makes that, and I mean, I'm probably going to be super biased about it, but I feel like it's the best martial art. And the reason why is also from a physical standpoint, in the sense of, dude, if you and me start sparring,
Right.
I could get knocked out and then I can't train for 2-3 weeks.
Well, so can I.
Yeah. Or you get concussed.
Right? I mean, that's the thing about you. That's going back to what you said about being like the best martial art. We stand up together, we got a puncher's chance. We both do. But if I take you down, you can't. You're not gonna
Right, it's a different world.
Hypothetically, throw up a fucking submission. Right?
Yeah.
You gotta technically get me in that. I can close my eyes and fucking throw something and catch you.
Yeah, there ain't no lucky submission on you.
Fuck no. No lucky anything.
But I'm also thinking about it from just like a training standpoint where if you get put in an armbar, you just tap and then, you know, you do the fist bump and then you roll again. Whereas if I get cracked by a right hook and I get dropped and my jaw breaks, now I can't train for 6 weeks, whatever the recovery will be.
Exactly.
So that's for me personally, that's also a big appeal to it.
Yeah. And like you said about the tapping, right? Like, we get caught in a submission, we could tap.
Mm.
The consequences of striking are so much more like detrimental, right? Like, if you make a mistake in striking, you get cracked in your fucking head. Too many of those is eventually going to lead to fucking CTE.
Yeah,
right? So
brain
it's like,
damage.
yeah, so we can do our fucking sport forever, right? Like, you can't box forever. You can't spar forever. It's not, it's not going to happen, So,
Do you feel as if when you see certain people come into the gym that people use the training as a way to battle insecurities that they might have?
yeah, I think so. For sure. I feel like I've done it,
Yeah. No, me too.
There's still times I'm not the most secure in my life that, I got to go to the fucking gym and I got to feel, the only time I feel secure is when I'm on the mat, right? And I'm fucking, and I'm with the team and those are my people and I just feel better there. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Feels like a safe haven.
Yeah. It's weird. It's fucking weird, And on the other hand, it could be like it could be a negative thing, right? Like, you can use that and you could be at the gym and you could just feel like the big dick because you're one of the hammers and you just want to go to the gym and I'm going to smash these dudes and feel better tonight. You know what I mean? So it's a fine line.
As we start to put a bow on this conversation, because I know I got to get you out of here, to get back to training, and I'll see you there tonight too.
My man.
A couple of things I want to run by you. What's it like when you see professional fighters come in and train with you? And, you know, like high-level UFC guys, like I see it at the gym all the time. Like you have champions come in there. You have guys from overseas coming. What's the vetting process with those guys as far as like training? Is there like the macho man kind of approach? Is it more like what goes into that?
Yeah, so you never want to be the guy, like when a high-level UFC guy comes in, you never want to be the guy that's fucking trying to take their head off in practice, right? That's, to me, like, I mean, to anyone, like, that's the most douchebag fucking shit to do, right? Like, they're already coming, especially, like, let's say Aljamain comes in, right? He comes in a lot. Like, he's the champ, right? There's so many guys that probably like, oh, that's the champ. Like, I want to give him a hard fucking round today and just kind of prove to myself and fucking be a gym warrior, you know what I mean? But it's not the fucking time to do it, right? Like, of course, if, like, we're sparring and Aljo's in camp or, you know, I'm only using Aljo just hypothetically, he comes in, right? But if you're sparring, that's different, right? He's in camp, he comes to the gym, and he's training hard. But, like, if he's just in the gym, you know, he's coming to Vegas, he's not even in camp, and you're just trying to fucking murder him, you know, it's like, I'm sure if he really wanted, he's going to fucking destroy you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah, don't try to be a hero.
Yeah, just fucking work with them. And, like, you get so much more respect out of that. Like, when you're fucking cool and you're a good training partner. With anyone in general, if you're not a fucking douchebag, you get so much more respect being a good partner, right? That goes for everyone. White belts to black belts to MMA guys to whoever, you know? So, yeah. It's cool, though, man. I fucking love it. It's awesome seeing guys come in all the damn time. You know?
How do you guys go about, like, enforcing on the mats when someone is a dick? Why are you smiling so much, bro? How come I feel like that's you? That's you, isn't it?
Probably the green lights. They're my favorite shit in the world, bro. I fucking love it. I when we came up, we like, even at our old gym, bro, it's like we had those couple guys that were like, if a new dude came in and he was a douchebag or he fucking came in and, you know, he was rolling hard with the girls, like you send your couple goons and back to back, you got to run through this fucking guy and just break him off. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we got our couple enforcers at the gym. Like, we have our guys, you know. Yeah. And I feel like people know, like, they fuck up, like, you get ran through the gauntlet. You know, that's just how it is. So just come in and play your part.
Yeah, and don't be a
fucking
dick.
idiot.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You won't get fucking green lighted. You know,
dude, you into any other sports?
Fuck, man. Hockey, right? Like, hockey, I've kind of been getting into.
Is it because they can fight in there too?
I fucking love it. I love, like, to me, it's so gangster. They just let them throw down.
Yo, so I don't know if you're familiar with what they do at the end of games in the playoffs. When the series ends, they all line up in a line and they shake hands.
Right.
It's like respectful and shit. Drives me crazy.
Why?
I don't like it at all.
You
Not
feel
that
like
I'm
it's fake.
Yeah, a little bit. I feel like it's forced.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what drives me up the fucking wall?
What?
If you and I get into a fight, like we fight in the cage, right? You throw a head kick, you knock me out violently. Like, this shit's going to be a highlight reel for 30 years from now. Don't come over and pray to me. Don't immediately, don't come over and hug me. Don't come over and bow. You just fucking send me into oblivion. You're celebrating with your coaches. You're on top of the cage. You're flexing. You're doing all this shit. Then you come over and it's like, no. When Herb Dean raises the hands after that, let's consult. But in that moment, bro,
Leave the fuck alone.
Yo, when that happens, Shane, and I see fighters that just get fucking embarrassed in front of millions of people watching at home and thousands of people in the arena, and you know that this shit's gonna be a meme forever. It's like, yo, I don't know. Maybe because I'm not a fighter. You fought. How do you feel about that?
No, bro. I mean, listen. Bro, especially like when they're talking shit, right? Like, don't be insulting me and knock me out and come fucking give me a hug. Fuck you. But yeah, I mean, my first fight, right? My first pro one, like I didn't fucking go over. Like, I Kimured him, right? I mean, I didn't knock him out, but it's like I didn't go over and hug him. It's like after the ref raised our hand, we shake, and it's like we weren't even talking shit, you know? But yeah, I mean, when we're fighting, I'm not trying to fucking.
Yeah, no hugs, bro.
You're the enemy. You're the enemy,
fuck
dog.
That. I'm trying to kill you.
Yeah.
Bro.
I gotta murder you, and you gotta switch, man. It's crazy when you fucking fight. It's like,
how many fights have you had?
7 altogether. Like 6 amateur and then 1 pro. You know, But just that pro one, like Pyle was in my corner, and I've never in all my other fights. I feel like I'm too fucking nice, man. Like it's weird. Like I'm super respectful, But the pro one, I was like, I'm gonna murder this motherfucker. Like that. That's sweet. He was like, once you get in that cage, lock fucking eyes. Don't take your eyes off him, and just think of murdering that motherfucker. And I did it, and it changed. Like
Damn.
it was like the energy was different. Like I was just more fucking. I'm gonna murder this dude.
The energy's different right now. When you just say that.
I'm fucking. Let's go, dog. Because I know how I'm so nice. Like even before a match, jiu-jitsu match, I'm like shaking his hand. Good luck, man. Fucking trying to.
No, yo, I'm not saying not to be respectful. I'm just saying when someone gets knocked out violently,
Yeah.
I find it corny.
Yeah.
And I get that the martial art, it's the utmost respect, but it's like, man, not like I'm a big read the room guy.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, my brain cells haven't even recovered yet. And I don't know if they are. So I don't want you coming over and doing the Brazilian bow and all that shit. Like, man, let's wait. After Herb Dean or Keith Peterson raises the hand, after that, tell me that it's part of the game. No problem.
Right.
But I'm talking about like the heat of the moment. Like that shit is corny.
That shit is rough. Yeah, for sure.
And they do that in hockey at the end of playoff series. I got a lot of shit for this on social the other day because a lot of hockey fans are like, yo, it's tradition. And I'm like, yeah, I get it, but it's also kind of.
What if you just scrap the motherfucker? I don't want to shake your hand. Especially in a hockey game, right? Like, fuck you.
Just been going at it for 7 games and you just got your heart broken because you lost in overtime. You're like, fuck, man, I put all this shit into this. Like, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, fuck you. Bro, last night with the combat jiu-jitsu, right? I fucking lose, right? I'm not fucking fit. It was for a podcast, right? So it was fucking nuts. It was only 2 matches. They're doing the podcast, but then they stopped the podcast, they turned, and then we got to fucking roll. So after, they're like, all right, come on the podcast. So I just fucking, this dude's on my back, slapping the fuck out of me and ends up choking me, right? And they're like, hey, how do you feel right now? I'm like, fuck.
I don't feel good.
Fuck you, bro. What the fuck? I just got slapped around, motherfucker.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you think I feel?
Well, yo, bro, that happens all the time with athletes too. Like a couple years ago, one of the most famous like post-game interviews was Richard Sherman was playing with the Seahawks.
Right.
And he had this wild play to end the game. And like he's still in his jersey, he's still on the field. And this chick, Erin Andrews, she's a sideline reporter. She puts the microphone in front of him. And she's like, hey, Richard, how do you feel? And he goes, well, I'm the best corner in the game. You try me with a sorry-ass receiver like Crabtree, that's what you're going to get. And he was just like so like overly like aggressive and just being like, he's talking shit. That's what you get. And it's like, yo, what do you want him to do? This dude just made a crazy-ass play. He's still on the field in his uniform. Obviously, he's going to react like that. He just gave you an authentic reaction. And then you're going to slander him for being like not being polite and being PC. It's like, nah, bro, I respect that dude way more because that's who you really are. And in the heat of the moment.
It's like with the Diaz brothers, right? Like Nick and Nate. Like they got so much shit, bro, but they're real motherfuckers. Right?
Yeah.
Like I fucking love them. Like they were never not who they were. You know what I mean? Like fuck you flipping off. They're doing their shit. You know what I mean?
That's why people relate to them too, man.
For sure. And like I feel like a lot of people want to be that, but that's not that. Like they act like that, but that's not really them.
Man, you could sniff that out really quickly.
Yeah.
In anything.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's why I think the people that it does work with, like Colby gets a lot of heat. Because like everyone's like, yo, Colby's really nice. I met Colby Covington one time at the airport.
He's a nice, I hear he's a fucking nice ass
dude. Dope as hell. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I was telling my buddy, I was like, yo, that's crazy. Like, it's just, but you're selling fights, the character, the whole nine, and all that.
Sell shit.
Do you watch fights, like UFC fights?
Of course.
Is that like the only thing you really consume?
Yeah, that's the only thing that's all. I love it, man.
I feel like you guys are always in the gym, so you probably don't even have time to do the
other sports too. Yeah, we're always in the gym, man. I mean, that's the thing. Like Saturdays, we're off, open mat, and then we get to watch fights at night. So it's like that's the only time we really get to like sit down, chill, and watch some shit, But yeah, man.
Hey, man, I want to wrap this up by giving people a chance to show you some love and support. Before you give out your social media, what was that thing that you wanted people to go and tag you on? Is that still?
Oh yeah,
is that still a thing? Maybe we could get some people to go and tag you on there.
Man, I don't know if so it was with the UFC Fight Pass. Last December, they had UFC 3 and they had Gordon on it, and I was trying to get on it because I'm 2-0. Right, I beat Bobby Green, I beat Andre Feely. Both pretty quick submissions, so I feel like I deserved a third match. I feel like, they should give me somebody again. My performances were pretty fucking impressive. I feel like there were quick subs against 2 top-level UFC guys, Bobby Green's just about to fight Tony Ferguson. And Andre Feely's a fucking killer. But yeah, so they just announced, they told me they were going to get me on this card in July. And then I checked Instagram and found out that they already had the card established. So that's why I told everyone to tag and try to get me on there, you know. So if you guys want to go on the UFC page and it's the UFC Invitational 4 and maybe tag me, maybe they might be able to get me on last minute, but I don't know. I don't know if the card's already set in stone. You know what I mean? But
I'm gonna link that to the description of the
Perfect.
episode, so you guys could go and check that out and go and tag Shane.
And like I said, I don't blame them, right? Like the UFC has their guys. I don't want to see their guys get fucking smashed, right?
Yeah, that's the case.
That's it.
Is that the case?
I
though?
think so. I think they're fucking
gotta
scared.
be,
It's gotta
right?
be. They're fucking scared. I'm not in the UFC. They don't want some guy that's just gonna come in and dog their guys, you know?
But bro, jujitsu is like, there's like good in jujitsu and then good in MMA jujitsu.
For sure. Which I feel like there's a lot of good jiu-jitsu guys in UFC. Like, give me one of those dudes, man. Give me a straight jiu-jitsu. Give me Oliveira. Give me one of these fucking guys. Let's go to war, man. You know what I mean?
Let's really see.
That'd be sick.
Damn, that'd be
You know?
dope. Shane, before we wrap up, man, I want you to give people your social media. I appreciate your time for coming on the
course.
pod. I know how busy you are. Tell the people where they can find you.
Man, bro. Thank you for having me, man. Like, I appreciate you so much, and I'm sorry for bailing on you so many goddamn times. You're my dude, though. I appreciate it, bro. So my Instagram is Shane_Paul MMA. That's it. That's only on Instagram. I don't have Twitter or Snapchat. Might get an OnlyFans soon, so holla at your boy.
Hey, man, listen. Make your money however you can.
Let's go.
So that's all I'll say to that. Look, I got a Patreon. And I feel like Patreon and OnlyFans is the same thing.
Same shit. I'll show
Patreon,
a little ass, man.
Patreon, you keep your pants on for the most part.
I don't want to. I'm trying to take my pants off at all costs, man. It's hot boy summer.
VeteransMinimum.com. You could go and get some merch. The merch store is up right now. Please go and support. The merch is really cheap. I didn't set the prices up too crazy. I want you guys to support as best you can. If you do buy something, let me know. Tag us on social at Veterans Minimums. You can find all things VM. The Patreon is patreon.com/veteransminimum. Go and support there. We're at 60 members, trying to get to 100 by week 1. And we're actually doing a lot of giveaways now that we do have a merch store. Some of the people that subscribe to the Patreon for the whole year, I'm going to get you your merch now that we have a wholesaler that's going to be able to go and get you your merch. So thank you all for listening, and we'll catch you guys next time.